The southeastern states of Enugu and Abia are currently experiencing a major turning point in the political history of the states. With an inconclusive election staring the people in the face, the fear of the breakdown of law and order continues to dominate the media space. As protests rock the coast city of Enugu, the two leading political parties are claiming victory, urging the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to announce collated results. In Abia, the story is almost the same, but with the candidate of the Labour Party, Alex Otti, leading the ballot by 93,618 votes. The state seems to be tilting towards having a Labour Party governor. However, the Labour Party and the People's Democratic Party in Abia State are claiming victory in the election, despite the suspension of result collation by the National Electoral Body, INEC. At separate interviews in the capital, U.S.A, both parties called on the Electoral Commission to declare their candidate the winner of Saturday's governorship election. Arise correspondent Uvieteme George has more.
Alex has come to reduce the number of...
At first, it looked like an advocacy walk in the streets of Umuahia, the Abia state capital.
LUP 79, LUP 30.
It later broke into a full march when more supporters of the Labour Party joined other party faithful to chant a remix of a popular Igbo song in protest over the suspension of the governorship results collation.
Total number of accredited voters in Obingwa local government for that election is about 27,000 votes. So we are leading them already with about 94,000 votes. So even if they take the whole 27,000 votes, we are also winning them. So we don't see any reason why INEC is delaying the declaration of this result.
The Beavers has been able to speak. PDP lost woefully in the last election in Obingwa. The sitting governor lost his senatorial bid in Obingwa. So it's laughable for Obingwa to produce such figures for the PDP.
A lot was put in place to bring these beavers into play. If anything is done short of that, it means that what Nigeria has been striving to achieve, what the legislature has been trying to achieve is nothing.
Whether they take it to the highest heavens or to the lowest seas, we are demanding for the immediate announcement and pronouncement, a declaration that Dr. Otti is the governor-elect. And that will be the only thing that will satisfy the entire Abia state.
Incidentally, the People's Democratic Party is also laying claim to the victory of the governorship election in Abia State.
I want the INEC to please be transparent, not be sided, not to be partisan. Please, Biko, we are mothers. Our children are from this land. We want our votes to count. Release the Obingwa result. Declare Ahiwe. PDP did the election free and fair. We came out, we voted. Let them declare Ahiwe. He is our governorship candidate. That's who we are here for.
It gets a bit interesting to see two political parties lay claim to the victory in the Abia governorship election. But with a bit of patience, the real winner will be announced by the Independent National Electoral Commission only after the Obingwa local government result would have been reviewed and collated before the sum total will be announced here in Umuahia, the Abia state capital. Uvieteme George, Arise News.
Joining us now on this show to discuss the unfolding events in Enugu and Abia states in the southeast of Nigeria are Sonny Iroche, leader and convener of the Abia League of Professionals Initiative, and in Enugu we have Right Honorable U.S.A. Igwesi, former member Federal House of Representatives and former leader Enugu State House of Assembly. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us. Well, serious matter out there, but let's start with the Abia state. Well, in Abia, what do you think is the source of the confusion? According to the reports, Alex Otti of the Labour Party, after the counting of 16 local governments, and he leading in 10 of the local governments, was said to be ahead with a margin of about 95,618 votes. The candidate of the PDP, Ahiwe, was said to have won in 1 local government. And the candidate of the YPP was said to have won in 1 local government, Osisioma local government, making a total of 16 local government areas with the results out there. Now, but the problem is Obingwa. Why is Obingwa a problem? Obingwa has a voter population of about 154,000 or thereabouts. But on March 18, only about 24,000 plus voters were accredited from Obingwa. And now some youths in Obingwa are saying that if the result is not announced in favor of the PDP, they will burn down houses, they will cause mayhem. What is so special about Obingwa? Because even if you look at the 24,000 plus accredited voters number, that's not even up to the margin with which Alex Otti is said to be leading. So what exactly do you suspect as someone from Anambra, from Abia?
Thank you very much, Dr. Abati. I am here purely as the leader of Abia League of Professionals, totally a non-partisan body, but we are committed to justice and fairness. It is clear by the INEC Electoral Act, Section 52, subsection 2, states clearly that if the number of voters in any polling unit exceeds the number of accredited voters, that polling unit should be cancelled. And we are all sure that in Obingwa, the candidate of the Labour Party, Dr. Alex Otti, is leading by about 95,000 voters overall. And the accredited voters in Obingwa... 93,680. Okay, exactly. Let's approximate it to 94. I'm a mathematician also. You approximate. So, and the number of accredited voters in Obingwa is 26,000. Let's even concede, let's say Dr. Alex concedes the 26,000 to the other party. Then he should be declared the winner. There is no brainer, there's no controversy about it. And coming to talk about these youths, it's because our security apparatus seems to have broken down in Nigeria. Why would a group of people who are not interested in looking at figures, in looking at the rule of law, take it upon themselves to threaten the state that are going to cause mayhem or burn down buildings because their candidate is not declared? That should not happen in 21st century Nigeria. So I condemn it, we condemn it in all its entirety, and we call on INEC to do the right thing by declaring Dr. Alex Otti the winner. I would not, as a professional, do the job of INEC. The law stipulates that INEC is the only authorized body to declare election results. But we know what has happened, that Alex is leading by over 93,000 votes in all the local governments, and the thing that is in question, that is controversial, is Obingwa, where the accredited voters are only 26,000. So what's the problem?
Mr. Iroche, it's good that you said you are non-partisan. That's the Abia League of Professionals. But this same Abia League of Professionals, before the gubernatorial elections, endorsed Dr. Alex Otti of the Labour Party. And yet you say Abia League of Professionals is not partisan. Kulibi said that you are defending Alex Otti also because he's primarily the choice of the body that you lead.
No. Let's get it right. Abia League of Professionals never endorsed Dr. Alex Otti. Alex Otti happens to be a member of Abia League of Professionals. And people in that group, you have people in PDP, you have people in APC, you have people in other parties. Our rule there is you are free to individually support a candidate, but not as a group. So it is not too correct that the Abia League of Professionals endorsed Alex Otti. No.
Okay, let me come to Honorable Igwesi and let's move to Enugu. another battleground, in this case where the elections, the collation has been suspended by the State Collation Officer, Professor Iwe, citing the fact that in contention, on one hand, the Labour Party agent alleged that there were BVAS wasn't used in Nkanu East local government area, whilst the PDP agent is saying that there were alleged irregularities in Nsukka local government area. And following that, the State Rec then decides to halt the process and ask them to write their petitions or to write their grievances. Now, they haven't given yet the timeline for when they would respond to them. And, you know, obviously this has caused agitations. The Labour Party supporters have gone in front of the INEC office in Enugu to protest, and they're asking as well that results should be announced. So I'd like you to please just share with us the picture. What's happening in Enugu? What's going on? What are do these allegations have merit? INEC halting the process, not giving a time when the winner would be announced. 17 local governments have been announced so far. What's really going on in Enugu?
Thank you, my sister. Thank you so much, and God bless you. That is the big question we are all asking in Enugu. Why are they delaying the announcement and declaration of Barrister Peter Mbah as the governor-elect of Enugu State? That is the big question. They have finished collecting all the results in the 17 local government areas. The state returning officer, under the law, is statutorily empowered to announce the outcome of that election and subsequently declare our candidate, Peter Ndubisi Mbah, the winner of that process. So we are surprised that they have still suspended this announcement and declaration. And we in Enugu know that Peter Mbah won that election through our agents in various polling booths, various wards, and local government. So we are surprised and perplexed that up to this moment, INEC has not announced that result. They ought to do that. They are legally empowered to announce the result. At this stage, there's nothing they can do about it, because Section 64, subsection 8 of the Electoral Act of 2022 says that at this stage, INEC can no longer suspend and withhold announcement and declaration of that result. They should go forthwith and announce the result. So we in Enugu, we all came out, all the local governments in Enugu are saying that they should announce Peter Mbah as the winner, that they have no right under the law to withhold the announcement. And we are running out of patience. And we say as long as they're withholding that announcement, we keep occupying the streets of Enugu until that announcement is made. Because Peter Mbah, from all justification, won that election.
Okay, so please be patient. Don't run out of patience, because we have to fix our electoral process. So don't run out of patience. As it stands today in Enugu, Peter Mbah has got 9 local governments. The Labour Party candidate has got 8 local governments. They are disputing 2 local governments. I'd like to ask you, in Nkanu and Nsukka, did they use BVAS? What did your agents tell you about those local governments? Was the use of BVAS, was BVAS used in those elections?
Told me that BVAS were used in those in the election in Nkanu East precisely, because you know Peter Mbah is from Nkanu East, and this is the first time an indigenous of Nkanu East is being a candidate of a major political party like PDP in Enugu State. So the things triggered enthusiasm. The thing triggered collective resolve by the people of that area that everybody must be committed. This opportunity must be celebrated. All the people, all the indigenous of that area that is living in all the states of the Federation, all of them transferred the PVCs to Nkanu East. Even indigenous of Nkanu East, who are in various countries of the world, all of them came back on time since Peter Mbah became the candidate of PDP, and all of them registered in Enugu State and precisely Nkanu East for this election. That is why we have this enthusiasm. That is why we have a lot of people clamoring for Peter Mbah. One, that place is a backward area, and people want development to come to that area. That is why all the indigenes are
sat in that particular local government and insisted that their son, having gotten this mandate, having been a candidate of a major political party for the first time in life, must be supported. They took it as a major project.
Honorable Igwesi, but you said they used beavers. I just wanted to get that point right. Igwesi, sorry for that. You said they used beavers on live TV, but INEC, in their submission, said there was no use of beavers, there was voter intimidation and irregularity. So are you saying INEC is wrong on national TV?
Yes, I'm saying they are wrong because they can't overreach themselves. I said they are wrong. They can't overreach themselves because I know that if there is discrepancies, if there is concerns raised about the result of an election in a particular area, what INEC can do is to send them to election petition tribunal. I know about the provision of section 130, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act. So it is not INEC that will decide whether beavers are used or not. Because it is, I know it is their job. They have right to confirm and review. But it is for court to decide so. Because even in a Nsukka local government area, on the day of that election, Sun newspaper and various newspapers, but precisely Sun, reported that there's low voter turnout in Nsukka. So I wonder whether they have a factory where they manufacture human beings. Why should that come up with over 30,000 votes? And the candidate in that for Labour Party is not from that area. So I'm surprised. I'm perplexed why they should equally say they have this thing. It is even in Nsukka, Udenu, Igwesi North, Igwesi South, where we are raising concerns about allegation, incidences of overvoting, ballot box snatching, using security agents to intimidate PDP faithfuls and even agents out of the voting centers. So it is, we are even alleging, but because we know our candidate is popular, because our candidate has capacity, our candidate has strength, then we said we know he will win an election. That is why we are waiting, at least if there is some concern raised by them, we go to the court and address it. We adjudicate the matter in court.
Okay.
Okay, Honorable Igwesi, just a point of correction. INEC under the law, the Electoral Act, Section 47, Section 148, Section 60, can determine the mode of collation of results, the device that should be used. So it's not the court of law that determines that. The law specifically gives INEC such power.
No. For technology, it's INEC that can decide that. Yes.
Okay.
Technology is INEC that can decide that.
Just to clarify that. Let me come back to you, Mr. Iroche. We go back to Abia.
Sure.
Now, the confusion in Abia, do you think it was caused by Professor Nnenna, the returning officer, making a statement that made it look like she had jumped into the arena? Because before the suspension of that result, what INEC had said was that, there was an attack on its offices in Obingwa, a local government area. But the returning officer, Professor Nnenna, then issued this statement about how the INEC chairman called her and gave her directives as to guidelines and how she's a mother and she's a Christian and that she will only do what her conscience tells her. She will make sure that justice is done because of the future of our children and all. And the opposition is now quoting that, saying, look, they want to change the result. Do you think that, the returning officer practically jumped into the arena and made such statements that, caused further confusion? Although INEC has denied that the INEC chairman did not call her, that she was the one that called the INEC chairman. So we don't even know who is telling the truth between Professor Oti and Professor Yakubu Mamudu. What lesson can we learn from this?
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Abati. I cannot second guess, I cannot speculate on uncertainty. We don't know who called who, but that's not the point. But let me make it clear that Professor Nnenna is not a relation of Dr. Alex Oti. So let's make that very clear. Let's not speculate. And I do not want, and Nigerians should not allow electoral results or the will of the people to be determined by 3 or 5 justices. So you just throw the entire voting mechanism into shambles. If we all troop out to go and vote for our candidates, and these cases have to be determined by 3 justices at the appeal court or 5 justices at the Supreme Court, it makes the whole thing, people start developing voters' apathy towards election. But coming to what Professor Nena Oti said or did not say, I leave that to the realm of speculation, and she's entitled as a human being to say, yes, I'm a Christian, I'm a mother. You could argue it in different ways. She might say, let the real results be. Let no one influence me. And there again, she's there live. Professor Mahmoud Yakubu is somewhere in Abuja. I don't know where he is. And she's afraid for her life that anything could happen. If, for any reason, that election in Obingwa is upturned, when people know the number of accredited voters, it's going to be of dire consequence to whoever is there. I don't know, but I've called on, I had a broadcast yesterday, calling on Abians to be patient, to be peaceful, and not to be violent. They should never take the laws into their hands. But then, INEC has to do the right thing. You don't push the people to the wall. People have cast their votes. People were there, taking figures, taking photographs, taking videos, and gone are the days where you can pull wool over people's eyes. You can do it in some places and get away with it, but we all know that we call Abangwa. Aba is a different kettle of fish. Obingwa is a different kettle of fish. Just do the right thing, announce the winner, who is clearly Dr. Oti. Let us even say, my argument is, let us concede 26,000 accredited voters to the other party. Dr. Alex still wins, Oti still wins. So let's not foot drag and give room for speculations and suspicion.
All right, this question is for both of you, both Mr. Iroche and Honorable Igwesi. INEC has said in both cases that the reason why they've halted collation of results and have not been able to or unable to announce a winner in both states is due to the fact that they want to look into the allegations made by both parties, in this case the PDP and the Labour Party. What some people have said is that perhaps they are learning a lesson from the criticism they faced during the presidential elections when there were calls for them to halt collation due to irregularities across certain parts of the nation. Do you have an issue with INEC investigating before announcing to at least weigh the merits of both your agents' claim? Or is it as a result of the fact that you just don't trust the process and you suspect that there might be some room for manipulations? I'll go with you, Honorable Igwesi, first to speak from the Enugu perspective, and Mr. Iroche for the Abia perspective.
Thank you so much. What happened at the national collection of presidential and national assembly election was that agents of various political parties, precisely that of PDP, insisted that they have objections about the outcome of the election, that there were malpractices here and there, and they were shouting on top of their voice. What the national chairman of INEC, Yakubu Mohammed, told them is that they should channel their grievances to election petition tribunal, that he is compelled by law and statutorily empowered to announce results so collected. That he did. And we are saying the same standard, the same parameter, the same gauge should be used to judge that of Enugu State, to decide that of Enugu State. We have one law, and that law should be applicable to both sides and all the sides. Why should that of Enugu be a different case? Are we in an isolatory phenomenon? Why are they isolating us and judging our case differently? The same question he answered to the people who were protesting that there were malpractices during the national and presidential election should apply to Enugu. We are saying the same thing, that INEC should go ahead, the state returning officer should go ahead and announce the winner of that election based on plurality of votes cast. And if there is any person who is dissatisfied, who is raising concerns, who is raising eyebrows, who is not comfortable with the outcome of that election, the person can go to tribunal, who are professionally endowed to treat such a petition. There is division of labor. There is separation of powers. If you do your job, you allow the other person to do your job. You don't overreach yourself. And we are surprised that up to this moment, 2 days or 3 days after the election, the result has been suspended without any major reason. If they are going on review and confirmation, they should have by now told us what they have found out and go ahead and announce the result and declare the winner of that particular election.
Iroche?
Okay, our position as Abia professionals is simple. Votes were cast on Saturday, 18th of March. Today is the 22nd of March. How long does it take them to investigate that accredited voters in Obingwa was 26,000? Dr. Alex Oti is leading the entire pack by over 93,000. My point and where I hinge my argument on, or my discussion on, is give the other party the 26,000, concede the 26,000. Dr. Oti still leads by over, what's my maths now? Say 70,000. It's a no-brainer. And I'm sorry to say that INEC has not given Nigerians enough confidence to say if there's a lacuna, a lot might happen. A lot of things on that table, transactions might go on, you know, but so let's not speculate on that, but let them just do what is right and declare the winner, and let's move ahead. Nigeria is not the only country where elections are conducted. Why must elections become a thing of a war or do or die in Nigeria? Because there is so much money, and I've always said, demonetize politics. Pay politicians the salary you pay teachers and medical doctors in Nigeria. Then you know those who are really willing to serve. All this do or die to get into office is because of the allure of the office. So much corruption, so much. There are no checks and balances. The whole country is gone to the dust.
Okay, 2 questions, and I'll come to you on this. Honorable Igwesi, can you confirm to me, since you are on ground, INEC says there were irregularities, which involves ballot box manipulation and the likes in those local governments. From your own point of view, what did you see on ground, or what did you hear? Was there any irregularity or any form of manipulation on ground that day of the election? That's one. Secondly, these 2 local governments, what are we even contesting here? How many votes? What is the vote stock of these 2 local governments we are contesting? Because the race is neck and neck as we speak. And there were some local government that Edeoga won with bigger margins, just like your candidate, Peter Mba, also did win with bigger margins. That's number 1 question for you. For you, sir, in all of this that we're talking about leadership and this election dispute in Abia, we should never forget the fact that Abia has so much potential, but Abia is deep in the dirt as we speak today. Over 50% unemployment rates. The economic indices are bad. The loans are so high. In fact, I think it was Mr. Alex Oti that talked about the fact that the loans are going to off to 170 billion for Abia State. Adds to also about 10 billion recently taken. What is the Abia Youth Professional League, doing as regards even these conversations about renewing the state before a new leadership comes in? Because that's a critical matter of the problems on ground. So those are the 2 questions. Will Mr. Honorable Igwesi go first? Yes, you have the floor, sir.
Hello. Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah.
What was your question again, please?
Okay, but this was my question.
Your question again on me.
I said these 2 local governments. One, were there cases of irregularity or ballot box manipulation, like INEC said there was on ground, because it's on those grounds INEC is stopping. And what are the votes involved that we are fighting for in these 2 local governments? Because they can actually tip the balance, because both candidates are neck and neck. Peter Mba has won 7 local governments. Ezioga has won 8 local governments. And it's quite neck and neck in this case, unlike Abia case where there's a clear-cut lead. Did you hear me at all?
Hello? I'm not hearing you again.
Oh, you're not hearing?
I'm hearing you now. Mm.
Okay. Yeah. I said, how many votes?
I'm hearing you now.
How many votes are involved in these two local governments? What number of votes are we fighting over?
Thank you so much. Let me correct an impression there, over there. Peter Mbah won in 9 local governments, not 7. Edoga won in 8. So, and...
but that's what I said.
What actually happened is that... no, I thought you said 7.
No, I said 9.
Then actually, what actually happened is that... in Nsukka local government, I can remember vividly, I read Sonny on that day. They emphasized that there is low voter turnout in Nsukka local government. And I am surprised whether Nsukka, a township local government, has a factory where they manufacture human beings overnight. I wonder, and I know we got information from our agents that even all the security agents were against them. They didn't allow them to be part of the exercise. Most of our supporters were disenfranchised, they were intimidated, they were hoodwinked, they were sent away from the voting center. And all of a sudden, none of our supporters were in that voting area. All of a sudden, they turned out an unprecedented and monumental vote of 30,000 votes. So I don't think it's possible. It's not possible. But that of Nkanu East, the INEC know what happened there. There are the people who are in charge of the election. I am from Nkanu West local government, not from Nkanu East. So this question can go to INEC. But what they reported to us in Nsukka is what I am saying. And before the election on that 18th March, we were all told there is low voter turnout because it's a township local government. It's an urban local government. But Nkanu is a rural local government, very massive in number. And I may not even know the voting population because I'm not from the area. INEC knows that, and even our agents in that area knows that. But I am aware about the enthusiasm that a candidate from that remote area, that backward area, has been chosen by a major political party. You could imagine the enthusiasm that will trigger to the people of the area. Okay. There was a collective resolve by the people of that area to support Peter Mbah, and everybody came there and they celebrated the opportunity.
Honorable Igwesi, enthusiasm that we can't put a figure to is not empirical. Yes, sir. All right? Enthusiasm that we can't put a number to is not empirical, and that's why I asked for the specific numbers. But since you don't have the numbers, thank you so much for your time. I'll come to you, sir.
I don't have the numbers offhand because INEC and our agents there have the numbers.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Rufai. The problem with Abia State started as far back as 1999, at the onset of this Fourth Republic. And when you have poor leadership, people who are not prepared to serve, you have a problem. It's a carry-on from 1999, from the Ojizo time to another Oji, Theodore Oji, to Ikpeazu. You ask yourself, what was the background of each and all of these 3 past governors in Abia? Nothing to write home about, really. They've never really, been committed to any form of corporate governance, learning how to borrow money and let the money work for you, or managing resources.
But what you claim he ran a successful business before?
I don't know about that. That is, I don't know about that. A success is based on what you perceive to be successful. But when you put some of these companies under serious stress tests to see that they are paying back their loans from cash flow generated from the business, then you can say someone is successful. But not when people cannot differentiate between state resources and personal private business resources. It's a different matter of kettle of fish. You can't say you run a successful business and you were jailed by the courts, but upturned on technicality. That's a different kettle of fish. you give the job of a serious administrator to people who are not prepared. That is what you have. Accumulation of debt and nothing on ground to show for it. Broken infrastructure, non-payment of salaries, which should not be an issue. That the governor pays salary, they say they are successful. You hear of Nigerian governors using state resources to drink 40-year-old whiskey and living life that, I mean, the kind of resources they spend on frivolities should be channeled into developing the state. Now on debt, I blame some of the banks that keep giving financing to some of these states without proper monitoring. If you do a project finance or you are financing a lifestyle of state government, over-bloated civil service, over-bloated staff. You see a governor having 40 special advisors, and those 40 special advisors have special assistants, and just creating job for the boys. Time has come now where you have someone who will run a state like a corporate entity with all the governance structures put in place. Nigeria cannot wait anymore. People are on short fuses. The youths are not happy. The phenomenon that happened, the Obi phenomenon, is not because of Peter Obi as a person. It's because the people are tired, frustrated, jobless, unemployed, underemployed. So Nigeria, Abia should be serious now to get someone who has been tried through the discipline of a corporate structure. Gone are the days, and it should apply to every state in the federation. You must ask questions. Where is this fellow coming from? What has he done in the past? Not just come from anywhere and say you are a successful businessman. Anyone can say he's successful, right? But we must take the people that we are supposed to govern into consideration. The people must be number one. And time will come when people will start chasing these people away and out of their homes, and all kinds of things will happen in the country. So I'm calling, even if Alex Oti gets there, the Abia professionals would not say because he's a member of the group and treat him with kids' gloves. No, we shall be there as a watchdog. We shall be there like a shadow government, pointing out where he's gone wrong and pointing him in the right direction. We hope he will listen, and we believe he will listen, because he's been listening to advice from all walks of Abia State, not only because he's a member of Abia League of Professionals. He also talks to the elders. We see him talking to the market women all over the place, but not when your qualification to be governor is because you are chief of staff of a governor who isn't even worth being a governor. So we must be very serious. Abia has a great potential. I was in Abia as an economic advisor, and I know the blueprint we left behind. And let me tell you something, Rufai. There are blueprints on development of Abia in everything: education, industry, agriculture, health. It is there. But will they read it? Will they implement it? The answer is no. But we are hoping that Alex Oti, being a professional, thoroughbred banker, would do the right thing.
Two quick things. Honorable Igwesi, talking about numbers. Now, the claim by the Labour Party is that there was overvoting in Nkanu East, which you say is a rural area, and there was huge voter turnout. Well, only INEC can tell us that by giving us concrete figures. But the result that was announced for Nkanu East gave over 30,000 votes to Mba, who is from there, and just about 1,856 to Chijoke Edeoga. And, you know, that's why PDP is saying there was overvoting, you know, helped by irregularities. They want that checked. Now, at the Usuka end, Edeoga himself got over 30,000 votes. So the two situations are similar. And PDP is saying there is no way he could have been able to make up to over 30,000 votes, beating your own candidate. So both of you are presenting more or less the same argument. But what I understand is that INEC says the suspension is till Monday. Could there be a middle ground? You know, beyond you saying you will continue to occupy the streets? Because, I mean, nobody can hold an entire state or INEC to ransom. So what is happening in Enugu State amounts to two major parties. There are other parties, but two parties trying to hold the state and INEC to ransom. Do you see a middle ground out of this that your party may well propose? But while you are thinking about that, I would like to come to you, Mr. Iroche, but I'll go back to the Honorable, is to ask you, we've been talking about Abia State. Yes, you are from Abia State. You've been an economic advisor in Abia State, but you live in Lagos. You've been in Lagos your entire life, and you are an Igbo man in Lagos. What's your reaction to the ethnic, slurs, ethnic profiling, which incidentally the president-elect Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, in a statement yesterday, has condemned pointedly, and he has called for unity. Do you think it's something we should just overlook and move on? But Honorable Igwesi, you first. Any middle ground out of the situation in your state?
Thank you. Before then, sir, I want to emphatically bring to your notice that Edoga is not from Soka local government area. He wouldn't have performed any magic to come up with such a monumental and massive number. And it's an urban local government area to start with. So there is no way.
What I quoted is what was announced for him.
No. That's I said it was because of my practices. It was because of vote buying. It was because of intimidation of our agents. Then they chased our agents out and manufactured that number. So what I'm trying to say is that Peter Mba is a star. Peter Mba is a character. Just oppose both candidates. Peter Mba is coming from a private sector after some public interventions. And Peter Mba grew a business from one-room studio apartment to what it is today. He displaced major players in oil and gas downstream sector. And that is why Enugu people are rooting for him. Like Peter Obi, like Peter Mba. So we call them P square. If Peter Obi were being chosen by our people from our region, because of his capacity and strength. And the same thing is applicable to Peter Mba. Peter Mba can raise any number of votes from any area because we admire him. We know he's coming to Enugu to replicate the Pinnacle Miracle. He's CEO of Pinnacle Oil and Gas Limited. To replicate the Pinnacle Miracle to Enugu. And that is all we are asking him to do for us. Enugu people are impressive. If you come to Enugu, go to INEC office where we are occupying a space close to that office. You will see the number of people, aged women, old women, young boys, young girls, all of them. We didn't hire anybody. But go to where Labour Party is sitting. You will see buses because they hired people. We never hired anybody. You will see private vehicles lined up there. It's people who are passionate about that project. So the middle course is whatever. I know that INEC has the right to review and confirm. We need to know what they have reviewed. But all we are asking them is to announce the result and declare Peter Mba as winner. So the middle cost is whatever decision they want to take. But we want to remind them the statutory rule as an INEC, the state returning officer should move ahead, go ahead, please, without hesitation, because our patience is running off, and announce Peter Mba as the winner of that election.
Okay, just remain patient, and let's all give peace a chance. Okay? Mr. Iroche.
On the ethnic profiling, I see it as just desperation, and people at that proletariat level, as you call it. But when it comes to the elite, the Igbo man is whining and dining with his fellow elites in Yoruba land, Hausa, Fulani, Kogi. They are all friends at that level. But at the level of abject poverty, they are fighting for space. They are fighting Mama Chukudi. They are fighting Mama Sonny. My father came to Lagos in 1943. My father is from Umuahia, the same village as Dr. Michael Okpara, the strong political clan that I come from. And my mother happens to be from Sierra Leone, but claimed to be a Lagosian. My mother's family, Spencer, has a street in Ebute Meta, right? My older brother is Iroche. My sister is Modupe, Bamidele, and Abiodun. Okay, so you can't come and tell me that you are more Lagosian than myself. It beats me. I just laugh. I don't think it's anything serious. It's what you can confine to politics. But then, Serious enough that a young man, Gbadeba Rose rival, comes out because he answers Chinedu, you want to vilify him. And, you know, so the beauty of it is that Zikiwe's kids were Bamidele. Professor Chikobi has 2 sons. One is Mustafa Chikobi, and the other, I think, Bankole. You know, that was the beauty in the way we grew up. I was born in Yaba. I went to Ladilak. Okay, but I only went to Government College Umuahia due to the war. And I couldn't even speak Igbo then. But during the war, I learned Igbo. And the beauty of it is for us to understand that we are human beings. When people hear Nigerians talk about tribe, the Black Americans feel kind of, are you people serious? Once we went for a conference in the States, and someone referred to a governor, that this governor is from minority state. And the Black American said, do you have white people there that they're in the minority? I said, no. So let's get off this nonsense of ethnic tribe, whatever I call it. It is just a struggle for space. Yes. At the end of the day, we intermarry, we love each other. When it comes to boyfriend, girlfriend, you won't say, this is a Yoruba girl. Ayo is a pretty Yoruba girl. Dr. Bati is a handsome.
Thank you.
For your information, she's married.
I know now.
She's yes.
No, I'm not. Oh no, Dr. Bati. I have a lovely Yoruba wife. My wife is very pretty.
Thank you so much, Mr.
So let's not go into ethnic profiling. Let us see each and every one of us as Nigerians and Africans.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Mr. Sonny Iroche and Honorable U.S.A. Igwesi for your submissions this morning. We look forward to progress, an update from INEC in the next few hours or days.